Hi, I'm Carl Schilling, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Advocacy Network. And I want to welcome you today to our first episode premiering of Financial Transformation. Now, for many, many years now, the Advocacy Network has been focused on eliminating all forms of financial victimization. And we do this by creating awareness, providing financial literacy education, which is always free in the form of workshops and digital workshops. And lastly, helping people just like you become financially independent. So the concept of this show is that for you today, we want every day 15 minutes to financial independence, and we're going to show you how to make that happen. So let's talk about some of the ground rules real quickly. Every day, what will happen is each of our topics will have a white paper that you can get, and we will develop that through a taping of each segment will be in a interactive video. So everything that we discuss will be in that interactive video. You get all the contact information. You can get to the people that we mentioned, as well as us, and also the information we discuss. So today, we are going to talk about the 3 golden rules to financial independence. So let's kick right in there and get started. Now, rule number 1 to the 3 golden rules is go where the puck will be. I always like to discuss Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was the greatest, most prolific scorer in any sport in the history of his sport. The one thing that separated him from everybody else was he always said, I go where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is. So he had this sixth sense. He knew where the puck would end up, and he would go there prior to it being there. So he had a counterintuitive mindset. He had an open mind. He was always looking ahead. He was looking for where the puck would be. So it's so important in a golden rule. Look, they always say an open mind finds opportunities others miss. So it's very, very important that you come about with an open mind. Now, the majority of people in our society have a closed mind. I make many, many calls a day. I speak with many people on a regular basis, and I can't tell you how many times I hear from people, I'm not interested. Now, they haven't even discussed it yet. They haven't even considered what is there to discuss. So they're closed-minded to opportunity, and because of that, they miss opportunities that others find. And the reason the others find them is for one reason and one reason only. They were open-minded. They were willing to at least hear something out. They were willing to explore. They were willing to discover. They wanted to see if there was something there that made sense. And if it did, they would jump on and take advantage of it. So let me be the first to share with you that an open mind is the first step. Now, after having an open mind, you need to have a burning desire to basically, we're going to discuss this next, but helping other people. But you need this burning desire to really move forward so that you are committed to helping other people. And that's a big thing. And then lastly, you need to be coachable. Okay? People who are coachable are able to look at things with an open mind. They're able to find the kind of opportunities they're looking for, and then they're able to take advantage of those opportunities by getting prepared and doing the things that are necessary and learning from the people who've already kind of maximized those opportunities, that people have already done it. So that's very important. Now, in discussing with you about an open mind, let me tell you something about my friends over at EXP. I'm a former real estate professional, and a while back I saw something captured my attention, and it's where the puck is going to be. Okay, so EXP was an organization, the only agent-owned cloud-based real estate brokerage in the industry, and you can get direct, residual, and passive income. The only place you can do that in real estate. So look, call my friends over at EXP. Speak with Kyle Handy. You can reach Kyle at 210-218-7801, and you can also email Kyle at kyle.handy@exprealty.com, exprealty.com, okay? So get in touch with those guys. I think you'll find yourself a great opportunity if you're in the real estate profession, okay? Now, let's move on to rule number 2. Rule number 2, we're going to talk about the law of multiplicity, okay, in rule number 2. Now, In his classic works, Ernest Holmes, and you can Google Ernest Holmes and find all the books that Ernest Holmes ever wrote, and I suggest you read them. It's about having an abundant mindset. It's about seeing the world in a perspective of abundance. It's very important you have that, okay? So let me tell you one thing about the law of multiplicity in his mind. He said you have a right to expect what you wish for others, and that'll be returned to you through others. So what you wish for others, in essence, you have a right for that to be returned to you through others. Now, what you don't have a right for is you have no right to expect that you can reap where you haven't sown. And yet we have so many people in our society that that's how they live. They constantly want to reap where they have not sown. It's like being a farmer and putting no seed down and then racing out during the harvest season and saying, where is my wheat? Where is my corn? Well, you didn't drop any seed. So the law of multiplicity that we're going to discuss and the way it fits into what we want you to understand, the only way to financial independence is by having multiple streams of income. Now, in that sense, you need to have direct, which is the income you earn from the work you do. You need to have residual, which is income you continually earn from the work you've done. And you need to have passive income, which is basically the income you receive, the money is working for you. Okay, so those are the three areas: direct, residual, and passive income. Now, let me share with you that only 5% of our society become financially independent. The other 95%, for many, many differing reasons, never become financially independent. One, they're closed-minded. Okay, two, they're not looking for opportunity. Three, they wouldn't recognize the opportunity when they see it. Four, they're not prepared for the opportunities when they come about because they haven't been planting the seeds. Okay, and five, people don't seem to understand these multiple streams of income. So by having direct income only, the essence of being an employee, or even having a business, or having a career, being a professional, a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist, as such, with one direct income, even that is not enough to become financially independent. So many of those same people end up in the 95%. The 5% are people who have taken on a few little things. One, they've learned I need three types of income. I need multiple streams of those three types of income. So where I can find that, it would be great, because then I have not just one stream of direct, residual, and passive income. I have multiple streams of direct, residual, and passive income. And mostly I get that by serving others. So if I find a way that I can make a difference and serve others, I can live with that law of multiplicity, as Ernest Holmes said. And basically, you have a right to expect that what you wish for others will be returned to you through others. And we're going to get into that on the third rule. Okay, so I want you to understand again, remember the law of multiplicity. In such, you need three types of income: direct, residual, and passive. However you do that. Are we telling you to give up your job and do something else? No. Many people go to work every day, have a direct income, but they find residual and passive income in other areas. That's what we specialize in, showing people how to do those things. So I want you to recognize that the law of multiplicity, in order for it to work for you, you have to sow good seeds, harvest, and then you can reap the benefits of that. And you have to understand that through helping others, you can make that happen. Now, let me ask you a couple of quick questions in lieu of that. I want to tell you something real briefly about the FES protection plan. I wonder, have you ever been denied a loan, either for credit or a mortgage even, sadly, or have you been approved, but you've been given a much higher interest rate, which really punishes you over the future? Well, these things can be resolved pretty easily because we have a method, a financial fitness plan that can take all of that grief and aggravation away. So you can call me on that, 321-947-3220. Again, in our interactive video, you'll have all the contact information, but we want you to look real closely at the FES protection plan. All right, now on to rule 3. Okay, golden rule number 3 is one of the really foundational key issues, okay? You must have an impenetrable and purposeful value proposition. And what does that mean? It means you have to be willing to have the desire to want to help other people, okay? That desire has to be a burning desire for you to want to do something for others. But remember, through the law of multiplicity, you can expect a return through that help from others. Now, it may not come directly from the person you've helped, but it will come around full circle from many, many others. So it's about building a client relationship. It's about having a service or things you can provide for people that will help them become financially independent. So the essence of you becoming financially independent, truly in all of these laws, your ability to become financially independent is subject to your helping others become financially independent. It really is quite that simple. Okay, the more you help others, the more that it comes back to you. Now, Zig Ziglar always said that people don't really want to know how much you know. They want to know how much you care, and after that, then they are going to be interested in what you know. So it's a matter of having this really strong, burning value proposition, which you can never ever. People will sense it. People feel it. They know when you're in something because you care, as opposed to you're in something because you're chasing a buck or you're just trying to manipulate somebody. Okay, people have that sense. So it's very important that you're connected to people and that you want to help people. Okay, if you do those things, then you certainly have the right to become financially independent. But beyond the right to become financially independent, you will start to see the benefits and your rewards, and you'll start to see the seeds of financial independence. Now, as I told you, we live in the richest nation in the world, and yet only 5% of society becomes financially independent. The other 95% end up being, at best, financially dependent. That means they're dependent upon their family, their friends, social circles, social networks, organizations. They're dependent upon the church, okay? And lastly, and worse, they're dependent upon the government. The last thing you want to have going on in your fourth quarter of life is to find that you are dependent upon the government. So financial independence is there for everybody. There's no reason that people need to end up financially dependent. And so what we're going to be doing on a daily basis is giving you these little tips, information, and help you get this, I think, what we call a financial literacy education, so that you are able to create these pathways on the road to financial independence. And it looks different for everybody. It's not one size fits all. Everybody has unique and differing circumstances. Yes, many of the same tools are necessary for everybody, but in order to have that value proposition, you have to uniquely find out what specifically is in someone's best concern and best interest. Which brings me lastly today, in closing out with one of our other sponsors, I want to tell you a little bit about Senior Solutions of North America. And you can find them at Senior Solutions of North America, spelled out.com. Just spell it out, Senior Solutions of North America. They are a long-term professional organization which will help us in the senior market, especially those in the fourth quarter of life, to cap those healthcare costs. They know a great deal about Medicare. They can help you understand everything you need to know about it. So you can get them there, and you can also call them at 1-888-230-2199. Ask for Joe Battaglia and tell him that Carl sent you. So in closing, I want to just summarize again, the 3 golden rules of financial independence are, okay, let's recognize them. Go where the puck is going to be counterintuitive, be looking for trends, be open-minded. Secondly, use the law of multiplicity. You need three types of income: direct, residual, and passive. And lastly, you need to know that you need a strong, intentional value proposition to help others. Now, tomorrow, we will be discussing the 3 stages of you. and that'll be for tomorrow. Look for the interactive video that we will have finalized and all the information from today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.